The previous episode ended with us assembling the entire kit, putting it on the car, and getting some kind of result. We took this result to a local event, looked at it from the outside, asked people for their opinions, realized what needed to be changed, rolled the car back into the workshop, locked ourselves in the garage, and got to work. The original Bugatti has a rear wing like this, which changes its position depending on the situation. Initially, we made the general shape of the body, and this rear wing was in the closed position, but in order for it to rise and change its position, it needs to be made as a separate sturdy element. That's exactly what Andrei is working on.
To give our wing the necessary structural rigidity and to add some extra thickness, specifically for our project, we'll use a camping mat. It's a kind of foamed material that doesn't absorb resin. How does this thing work? First, you lay down a layer of fiberglass mat, soak it with polyester resin, then put the camping mat on top, and you must cover it with another layer of fiberglass mat. Let me explain. The bottom layer is wet fiberglass mat. Here is a dry layer of camping mat, which has perforations, holes, openings. We cover everything with a wet layer of fiberglass mat where it's shaded, that's the wet part. The resin bonds the top and bottom layers together. As a result, you get a strong, lightweight and reliable structure.
We have the front side, as I mentioned before, it was made in the first episode and essentially was a single piece with the main body. Now, however, we've cut it out and are moving forward. As you understand, all of this is saturated with resin, in our case polyester resin. We pour it in, mix it and proceed with the technique that Andrei so diligently demonstrated at the board. Resin, fiberglass mat, more resin, foam mat, resin, and so on many times.
In the morning the light will get tangled up in all the colors.
I think many of you have noticed that videos on the channel come out rarely, and it might seem like we're just slacking off. Of course, that's not the case. I've decided to occasionally show a bit of behind the scenes from the workshop. So what else are we working on? Well, about half a year ago, we bought this specimen at an auction in America, a 2020 Chevrolet Camaro for repairs, and eventually for resale.
In the end, about half a year has passed and the car is finally in the workshop. We didn't film the unloading because at first we didn't plan to make a video about this at all. Therefore, during the process, as expected, the car wouldn't start. We hoped that if we charged the battery, hooked it up, it would start. Now we're going to check that. So, the moment of truth. Bingo! To some extent, buying lots like this is always a lottery. Actually, you can't really see it in the photos. It's unclear what kind of impact it was or how severe. And in our case, there was a bit of a surprise because right here in this corner, the seal is pretty badly crumpled and it's quite serious. So we'll have to pull it out properly, maybe even cut out a piece. We'll take care of that in another workshop at Denis's place. So now we're loading the car onto the tow truck and heading over there. It's a bit snowy and wintry outside, and to avoid bringing a snowman along while the car is being transported, we need to tape up the opening.
But while the car is on its way to the other side of the city, let's get back to the Volgatti. The reasons, in case you still, truly, genuinely, really, are you, as always. Ciao Silvio, it's really great to see you. While this sandwich is drying, we are working on the platform where the spoiler will be placed.
Let's get started on making the recess where the spoiler will sit. We'll make a sort of bed for it, so to speak. Here I cut out a template from cardboard. This is roughly how it will look. Foamed PVC plastic, which is about 5 millimeters thick, will definitely come to our aid here. Personally, I really enjoy working with this material because it's not only reasonably rigid, but you can also actually give it a bit of a curve. You can bend it as needed if you want to.
The process here is about the same, but to prevent the fiberglass mat from sagging, we glue a plastic insert into this recess. This is not a structural element. It's just a platform for the fiberglass mat to rest on until the resin dries. That's why we just take the plastic in place with hot glue and then layer by layer, kilogram by kilogram of resin.
What about you? No. Figure it out until you turn around, until you eventually finally turn around and you. I won't be coming back anymore, not We're leaving. Despite the time of the week. My dear. For those half-drunk women, sailors perish. They tore their striped shirts, stabbed right in the chest. Outside the heart grows still, the beat will no longer be heard. You danced your last dance already without arms. Maybe they'll dig you up 1,000 years in a full leather jacket and fragments of coins where the whole shore is licked clean. You never made it to the cobblestone where Russians crawled out of the country's pockets. We're leaving.
By this point, a week had passed and I decided to drop by Dennis's place. Hey guys! So, this is what it looks like. You've got a real showcase garage here. How do you like the Supra? Have you driven it?
Yeah, I've driven it, when there was snow, so you just give it a little gas and it immediately starts sliding sideways.
Well, yeah, this car is definitely seasonal. And a lot of people know about this car. It's like a real time capsule. Yeah. Well, that's all cool, beautiful cars. What about our project? There she is, looking gorgeous.
Look, everything's ready. All the prep work for painting is done. By the way, today they're gonna strip all of this. We're stripping it down to bare metal. This is a new fender too. It will all be painted wet on wet. That is, it will beat under the thickness. We'll also paint the front bumpers because during transport, you see they're scratched. Yeah, but that happens sometimes. The damage is drawn on, but in reality, it's not really there.
Is it because the shape is complicated or something?
Yeah. You see, everyone wants to get the most out of the insurance.
To squeeze as much as possible from the insurance, yeah. Americans aren't fools either.
See, here they have, supposedly something scraped it, that kind of thing.
So they even show damage on the tire? But look here, there's basically nothing at all. The tread is just a little scuffed.
This isn't our insurance company. They're like, oh, snip, snip.
So it turns out they likely got reimbursed for the cost they counted the tires, right? That works in our favor, it's cheaper. They let them go more easily and sell them for less. Yeah, so look, the car is beautiful, neat, you replace the door, replace the fender. Basically, it's a new car. Yeah, I don't remember the mileage. But look, in reality, there's practically no filler anywhere, and there won't be, right? Yeah, so how's the work going? Work-wise, everything's fine, we're working. So, we finished the lower part of the spoiler and we've also finished the upper part of the spoiler. We're going to have a hollow spoiler, but we've put the gluing process on hold for now because we don't know yet where to attach the mounting plates that the mechanism will be screwed to the one that will raise the spoiler, like on a Bugatti. Next, we need to make the trunk, the hood, the service hatch, and cut out this window here to provide access to the rear part of the car. But as a result, what will happen is that the whole shell will come apart and lose its rigidity. Right now, I'm going to drill holes at the reference point, which will allow me to transfer the outline to the other side. And that's what I'll use as a guide for cutting. First, on the other side of the assembly, we'll carefully glue a strip of durable PVC plastic to which we'll gradually and evenly roll a flange, then apply a suitable release agent, and after that, roll a second flange. And in order to transfer this outline, this detailed drawing to the other side, I'll be precisely drilling several through holes, taking care to align everything as accurately as possible throughout the entire process. Here are our holes. We connect them and get the outline of our hatch. Next, we glue the flange here, make a stiffening rib and the mating part, apply a release agent, roll the second side, and separate our hatch from the mold, resulting in a reinforced, rigid structure. First of all, we cut strips from foamed PVC plastic. By the way, it's a convenient and pliable material, but only for these kinds of single-use purposes. Then, using the holes that were drilled from the front side as a reference, we draw a line, we glue the plastic along this line. Next, lay fiberglass mat onto this disposable edge, and after it dries, we'll have a durable, reusable rim.
After all, my dear, I miss you. I don't miss you. How can you not miss me? But I will come back.
Epic, what, what's going on, what's and the series about the restoration of this mosquito is already on our second channel. Be sure to check us out and support us if you're interested in following the journey. After the resin has dried, we turn the body over. And using the same holes as a guide, we cut out the future trunk. As a result, after a couple of unready days, we have this result. All that's left is to remove the disposable edge and get to the reusable one. For the next step, we once again take foam plastic and make a new edge. We thoroughly roll this structure with fiberglass mat again. This is done in order to achieve the correct profile. In the end, all that's left is to make drainage holes, install the sealing rubber, and basically you could call this a factory level finish. But before you can call something factory level, most often it takes a couple of days of fine-tuning, preparation and sanding. That's what you're seeing on the screen. We decided to slightly modify the lid itself from the original. In the Bugatti, the engine is located in the rear and is partially integrated into the trunk lid. But we're building an Volgatti and our engine will be in the front. And we really don't want to make an additional dummy in the back, so we'll slightly modify and simplify this aspect. So what is this innovation, you might ask? Well, I cut this out. This part right here, which was supposedly an improvised glazing. We decided to redo it, remove these humps, make it flat here, and set the glass deeper into the cabin, let's say, push it in. That's why it was cut off. And next, this frame for the rear window will be refined here. And then, a few more 100 days will be spent on perfecting all the elements and surfaces. The next thing that really catches my eye is the lack of an air intake in the original. The Volgatti has this kind of opening through which air comes in for cooling. In our project it's also drawn, but we're not building the car according to a 3D model, as we should, but just from a picture. And now we need to solve this issue. In general.
Correct to say.
Okay, in general and on the whole. Let me explain in simple terms. We need to slightly widen the body by making a new wall in this spot. Ultimately this will not visually change the picture, but we'll get 3-4 centimeters of space where the air intake will be located. That's exactly why the frame is made hollow inside. Later on, this will be a fully functional air intake, not just a dummy. As for where to route it, we'll decide a bit later. And a few more thoughts and plans for the project. At this point, we've firmly decided to put this body onto a new, proper donor car. We spent a long time looking at different options and concluded that the BMW 6 Series is perfect for us. Specifically, the S63, S64 body. It's a powerful rear-wheel drive car, which is exactly what's needed for this kind of project. And the wheelbase is almost a perfect fit. Maybe some of you have one for sale or as a donor vehicle. We're interested in any options below market price. If you have specific offers, write to us by email or in our Telegram group. The links are in the description.
So after a week of fine-tuning, this is the result we had. We only gained 2-3 centimeters, but that's very important. Later on we'll add another wall here, and all of this will be cut out, and we'll end up with a pretty impressive air intake. We'll put a mesh here, and everything will be very close to how it's drawn in the project. As a result, the body shape has hardly changed visually. You definitely won't be able to see it with the naked eye, but we managed to gain those couple of centimeters. which is very important for the project.
There are these niches in the rear bumper, which in the original are covered with a decorative grille. After we adjusted the template, we decided to cut a sample out of cardboard to make sure and lock in the final result. And only after that we'll cut them out of plastic. We've also made great progress with the lanterns. And in the next episode we plan to fully assemble the rear section.
We made and fitted the prototype out of foam board, the mock-up. Of this tip, the muffler, the so-called whistle. And we'll send this part to Novosibirsk, to Oleg, our subscriber. He will make it out of stainless steel.